Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. In our last lecture, we had studied the forms of the sentences when talk about the simple past tense and its usage. In this lecture, we are going to learn about the past continuous tense, its sentence structure as well as its usage. So let us start with the first type of sentence, that is the simple statement. So when we talk about the past continuous tense, what is the structure of a simple statement? Subject plus was or were plus the ing form of the verb. So you have two, helping verbs that we have here, was and were. We use were with the singular subjects or the singular pronouns such as he, she, it, and I. So this is how we are going to use the singular subject. Second, we use were with the plural subject such as you, we, they. So this is how we use the singular subject, the singular helping verb, that is was, and the plural helping verb were. Now, look at the examples. She or he was singing a song. So since my subject is singular, that is why I use was. You were reading a book. Since my subject is you, which is plural, therefore my helping verb is were. They were playing in the park. So they is plural, so we use were playing in the park. Now let us look at the other types of sentences, which are the interrogative sentences. Now, interrogative sentences, as we all know, are those which always ask a question, and an interrogative sentence will always begin with a helping verb. So, was or were plus the subject plus the plus the ing form of the verb. So, the usage of was and were remains the same. If my subject is singular, I use was. If my subject is plural, I use were. Was she or he singing a song? Were you reading a book? Were they playing in the park? Now, if I talk about the negative sentences, we simply have to add not in the statement. The form of the statement that we have learned, we simply add not to that. Subject plus was or were plus not plus the present participle, that is the ing form of the verb. For example, she or he was not singing a song. You were not reading a book. They were not playing in the park. And when we talk about the interrogative negative sentences, again, we simply have to add not in the interrogative structure that we have already learned. Were plus the subject plus the ing form of the verb. For example, was she not singing a song? Were you not reading a book? Were they not playing in the park? So this ways we are going to frame a sentence using the past continuous tense in either a simple statement, a negative statement, an interrogative statement, or an interrogative negative statement. Alright? Let us now look at the uses of the past continuous tense. The first use of the past continuous tense is to talk or to discuss describe an action which was in progress at a point of time or over a period of time in the past. An action which was in progress, which took place at stretch, but when? In the past. At some time or over a period of time in the past. For example, he was reading a novel at 8 o'clock this morning. So it is a thing of the past now. But this action of reading a novel is something which is progressive in nature, which will take time. So he was reading a novel at 8 this morning. It was raining all the afternoon. So the entire afternoon it was raining. I was working on my project last week. So again, a progressive action that took place in the past. The next use of the past continuous tense is to suggest a gradual of the action in the past. Gradual means slowly, something which is developing. That is the gradual development of the action that took place in the past. For example, it was getting dark. Now, when it gets dark by the evening, it is not suddenly that it turns dark. It is a gradual darkness that covers the sky. The girl was growing like a young plant. When something is growing up, that growing up is also gradual in nature. He was becoming more and more nervous. So, was becoming more and more nervous. Again, a gradual change that was taking place. Now, the next type or the next use of the past continuous tense is to express action that was in progress when some other action took place. So, two simultaneous actions we are talking about. We use the past continuous tense to talk about that action which was already taking place when some other action took place. For example, I was writing a letter when the postman knocked at the door. I was writing the letter when the postman knocked the door. What was the action that was taking place in progression? I was writing a letter. And what action interrupted? The postman knocking the door. So you see, we use the past continuous tense to talk about the action which was taking in progression, and the interrupted action is indicated by the simple past tense which is not. Now there are more ways of writing such sentences. One was using the other types of such sentences. Just as I was leaving the house, the phone rang. What was the action taking place in progression? I was leaving the house. And just when I was leaving the house, the phone rang. The light went out while I was reading. So when I was reading, the progressive action is I was reading. And what interrupted it? The light went out. Okay. The next usage of the past continuous tense is to express parallel actions. Parallel actions means two actions that take place at the same time. And when we talk about such sentences in which two actions taking place parallelly are described, we use words such as while and at the same time. For example, while reading a book, she was watching the television. So while I was reading the book, at the same time she was watching television. While I was preparing for my exam, my brother was playing cricket. So two actions are taking place at the same time. Both of them written in the past continuous tense, and we join those actions using while or at the same time. And the last usage of the past continuous tense that we have is to indicate repeated actions. Those actions which took place repeatedly. For example, she was always grumbling. You know, grumbling is an adjective which is used for those people who have a habit of speaking, uttering continuously. So she was always grumbling means she always had the habit of speaking continuously. So this is a repeated habit that is being talked about. She was continuously asking silly questions. Continuously. Without stopping, she continued to ask silly questions. So again, we use the past continuous tense. He was constantly asking for money. Constantly, repeatedly, that person kept on asking for money. So we again use the simple past tense. So these were the uses of the of the past continuous tense. Let us do the exercise given below. So fill in the blanks with the correct usage of the word given in the bracket. You can use either the simple past tense or past continuous tense. Now, the phone dash while I was having my dinner. This type of sentence we have just learned. The action which is progression is written in continuous tense and the other action is written in past tense. So the phone rang while I was having my dinner. Second sentence. He dash birds all the time when we dash out on a picnic. So, what was the action that was taking place continuously? He was watching birds all the time. When we watching the birds all the time? When we were out on a picnic. When I last dash him, he dash in the bank. So, when I last saw him, he was working in the bank. As Satish dash off the bus, he dash and dash. So, as Satish was getting off the bus, when he was getting off the bus, he slipped and fell. We dash our lunch when the postman dash. So we were having our lunch when the postman knocked. Okay? So with this, my dear students, we come to the end of the second type of the past tense, which is the past continuous tense. Alright, so I hope this verb form is clear to you. I shall now see you in my next lecture. Thank you.